Hi everyone, welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm broadcasting to you live from beautiful Budapest, Hungary, Central Europe. I hope everybody is doing and feeling great. Hi Vanity, Sean, good to see a member early in class. Hi Marasa, I hope you're doing all right. Okay, everybody. So today we are doing IELTS speaking part 1 and 2. These are some original questions we just recently designed. Our materials are coming from our websites for academic IELTS. Check us out at aehelp.com. And for general IELTS, definitely visit us at gieltshelp.com, where you have 6 full practice exams, over 100 hours of video lessons, as well as an interactive course for your phone, tablet, and PC. And we are still running our 30% discount code, partner 30. Use that on the websites. That's promoting our new peer-to-peer or student-to-student speaking practice interface. Absolutely a free service and great to use to improve your speaking score. If you have questions about IELTS or our products, don't be shy. Send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, and I will do my best to answer your questions. It's my name, Adrian @aehelp.com. Hi, Jubilant. Good to see you in class. All right, just a little peek at our live streaming schedule. As usual, streaming times are from 15 to 16 o'clock Central European Time, CET. If you type that into Google, it should give you the time zone difference. Today, again, speaking part 1 and 2. Tomorrow, we are doing a members chat, task 2, a question that was requested by one of our members. Hi, Kisi. Hi, Preeti. Good to see some more members joining in. And then, of course, we're taking a couple days after that and continuing on the 19th with some speaking part 3. Okay, some speaking part 3 on the 19th is the continuation. And then our holiday schedule, no class on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. Of course, in the West, that's Christmas time. We are celebrating that. So no lessons there. And then we're back full steam from the 27th to the 30th, all the way right up until New Year's. All right, ladies and gents. Of course, you're in today's class because you're curious about speaking. Do check out our latest HD upload with a Russian candidate who scores 8.5 for the speaking interview. You can see that on our channel. Just uploaded that this week, so make sure to take a look at that. Okay, we're going to get into speaking right away. Just a couple of quick warm-up questions, and then I will talk a little bit of strategy and how you can get a really good high band score on your next speaking interview. So this is speaking, so don't just listen to me, but also repeat what I say nice and loud. Hopefully you are in a place where you can enunciate and speak loud. Welcome, Tiago Estrella, a new member just joining in on our channel. Happy to have you on board, Tiago. Send me an email, Tiago, later on, and I will hook you up with our 6 practice exams, and you can start requesting classes as well, okay? And of course, the exclusive videos also. So just send me that, Tiago. Thanks for joining. All right, let's warm up our speaking muscles and brain cells a little bit. You go to the IELTS speaking. You will have a roughly 12-minute interview with a professional English speaker, usually a native speaker, who will ask you some questions, also give you a card where you have to speak for 2 minutes. For part 1, they'll ask just a couple of questions to get to know you a bit better, and some questions on a general topic. So let's warm up with a couple of these icebreaker questions. So you go into the exam room, and the examiner will say, "Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. Please have a seat." What should you say? I've never really gone this early into the interview before. So what should you say when you walk into the room and the examiner greets you and says, "My name is Adrian, please have a seat." Okay? So examiner, my name is Adrian, please have a seat. Okay, what should you say, student? How should you respond? Marasa says, just say thank you. All right. Thank you. Sure. Jubilant says, sure, sir. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So don't just stare and look blank, but say thank you when somebody says, please have a seat. It's common in English culture. If somebody says, please have a seat, then usually you say thank you. I guess in many other cultures as well, but maybe some students get scared and they just quietly sit down. Okay, don't do that. So just be confident. You're talking to your grandma or your grandpa. Loud, respectful, clear, full sentences. Say thank you. All right, then the examiner will continue with what is your full name? So students, I know that I ask you this question every time, but it's a good one to start with. It's really important that you have a clear, accurate, quick, nice answer for this. Murasa says, my given name is Murasa and my family name is Baraki. Please call me by my nickname, Mary. Okay, sure. So my family name is Baraki. Please call me by my nickname, Mary. Sure. Sounds good. All right, that's one way to do it. Ancilla says, my full name is Ancilla Stanley. Please call me by my first name, which is Ancilla. Nice, and it's a nice repeat, Ancilla, of the first name. Absolutely, okay? Again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're repeating. Pay attention to the chat. Pay attention to your fellow students as well. Hinji Yato team says, my given name is Amandeep. My surname is Singh. Please just refer to me as Amandeep. Okay, again, very nice. Thank you. All right. And then they will say, may I see your identification? They might say that a little earlier, even before this question, because they will match your name with your identification. When they say, may I see your identification, you should say, sure, here you go, or absolutely, please take a look, okay? So just repeat these after me. Sometimes students kind of say strange things like, they say off things like, yeah, here, okay? So just a little bit more respectful. So if the examiner says, may I see your identification, please, then you should answer, most certainly. Please have a look, okay? And then pass it to them, all right? So just repeat me. There's other different ways to say this, but be courteous. So most certainly, please have a look, or most certainly, here you are, okay? That might be even a little bit more natural and easier to roll off the tongue. All right. So far, so good. And then the examiner might say one more icebreaker question, something like, what do you like to do in your leisure time? What do you like to do in your leisure time? Hanji Yato team, that's good, by the way, as well. Yes, certainly, here it is. So how can you answer this? What do you like to do in your leisure time? Deep Brar says, in my free time, I love listening to music and dancing because these activities refresh my mind and body. For instance, yesterday, I did 2 hours of jazz dance, and it was loads of fun and very relaxing. Deep Brar, very good answer, just pushing you for an even higher score. So Deep Brar, all is good except the word things. This is for all students. Avoid the word things and stuff. They have zero value in conversation or in writing. Always find the better noun. So in your case, Deeprar, the word activities is a better noun. And add that example in there, and boom, you've just gone from a 7 to a 9. Okay, Deep Brar? You're very welcome. So I'll take Deep Brar's answer. I see some other good ones coming up today. Here we go. So in my free time, nice paraphrasing, leisure time for free time. In my free time, I like to listen to music or go dancing because these activities help relax my body and mind. Sure. For instance, just yesterday, I did 2 hours of jazz dance after a long day of study, and it was a great way to unwind. Unwind is a nice natural expression. Wind means to wind something up. Unwind means to unwind. So to decompress is another way to say it. Okay, I'm giving you some vocabulary here, ladies and gents, that'll help you get those higher scores. Repeat after me, okay? Just repeat after me, nice and loud. What do you like to do in your leisure time? In my free time, I like to listen to music or go dancing because these activities help relax my body and mind. For instance, just yesterday, I did 2 hours of jazz dance after a long day of study, and it was a great way to unwind, okay? All right, so that will get you that high band score. Now, let's talk a little bit of strategy before we jump into some more questions. And I see some great responses, Jasveer Singh and Always We Learn in Sandeep. So those are great. Don't worry, I'll read your responses. I'll make some corrections. But I want to talk a little bit of strategy with you before we really get into this part 1, part 2, okay? So bear with me, stick with me, okay? Let's jump back. Let's step back one. All right. This is some new strategy we haven't talked too much about in previous classes. So we get a lot of comments on our speaking videos on our channel, and some students say, that's not a 8.5, or that's not a 7, that's something different. And you could be right or you could be wrong. It might be point band off or maximum 1. I highly doubt that, but it's going to be very, very close, those scores. We do have IELTS examiners look at those videos and agree with those scores before we post them. So there's a lot of different ways of speaking, a lot of different kinds of diction. We had some interesting comments come up on some of our more recent videos as well. One student said that, there's no way this student can get 8.5 because they're giving personal examples in part 3, and the IELTS examiner will cut you off if you give a personal example in part 3. This is not true, okay? This is absolutely not true. And we did hear this from other students before. They say, when I give an example, the examiner cuts me off and jumps to the next question. It's not the example, okay? That's not why you're being cut off. You're being cut off for possibly 2 reasons. One reason that the examiner is cutting you short in your speaking, okay, is you're speaking off topic. So you didn't actually understand the question, and you're just talking about a different idea. The examiner doesn't want to waste your time or his time. He wants to figure out your English level. So he'll break into or interrupt your response and go to the next question, hoping that for the next question you'll give an accurate answer, okay? So that's one reason the examiner will cut into your response or interrupt. The second reason, can anybody guess what one of the common reasons are why the examiner might interrupt your speaking? I don't want to just give you the information. I want you to use that beautiful brain and think. So what's another reason why the examiner, do you think, in the speaking will cut in to what you're saying? Okay. So one is you're off topic. You're giving a completely false answer. and they want to get to a question. I just said that, Fridun, so you're giving an irrelevant answer. Marasa, I just said the same thing, so you're giving a wrong answer. Yeah, Patricio, that's right. That's the other reason. Very good, Patricio. You're dragging out your answer too long. You're giving the correct answer, but you're talking too much, and you're repeating the same information from different perspectives. Okay, you don't need to do that, and the examiner doesn't want to hear you do that. So if you answer the question and then you continue to answer, you continue to explain, you keep explaining, and then you explain from another direction, and then from a different perspective, and then from another view, and then from a completely different angle, and you've said the same explanation 5 different ways like I just did, then eventually the examiner will just say, oh, I've been hearing this all day. Stop! Next question. Boom. And then you're thinking, well, I just about got to my example. They cut me off because I wanted to say the example. No, they didn't cut you off because you wanted to say the example. They cut you off because you're over-explaining and you're redundant and you're repetitive. Don't do that, okay? So strategy for the correct way to do this is get the answer out, okay? So answer the question, give an explanation, and cut to the example, all right? Then stop. So get out the answer, get out the explanation, get out the example, and stop. Wait for the next question, okay? You can also think about this, or you can use a different strategy here for it, which we'll use today, called thinking about exact nouns, subjective noun, and then the pronoun, okay? And you can use this system or this method to effectively move through the answer, explanation, example. Don't worry if it's not 100% clear yet. It will make sense. Now, it's not necessarily going to be this order. So an exact noun would be like a Ferrari, okay? What is a Ferrari? A Ferrari is a sports car. Okay? What is a pronoun? A pronoun in this case would be it. All right? So let's, for example, say the examiner says, what is your favorite kind of car? Okay? So as soon as the examiner asks you this question, you can think, okay, I got to get out my answer, and I got to get out my reason, and I got to get out my example as quick as possible. So here we go. The answer. My favorite kind of car is a Ferrari, because it is an extremely beautiful and fast sports car. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to drive one last year when I visited Las Vegas. Okay, you can rent exotic cars there. Now, you don't have to say Las Vegas. You can make up another city. So notice what I did here. I used the question. I answered it very quickly. My favorite kind of car is a Ferrari. Right away, I'm giving the reason. So that's my explanation, because, using that conjunction, it is an extremely beautiful and fast sports car. Notice the subjective noun, right? So here I'm using Ferrari. I'm giving that as the exact noun. It's very precise. Then I'm using the sports. It doesn't have to be this order, but the idea is to remember these 3 components. The sports car is coming in at the explanation here very quickly. If you keep repeating one, so if you keep saying it's a great sports car, it's a very fast sports car, it drives so quickly, then you're repeating yourself. The goal here is that you're only using these one time, or maximum maybe 2 times for a pronoun, okay? If you listen to your speaking and you realize that you're using the exact or the subjective or the pronoun multiple times, like 3 or 4 times, you're over speaking. Okay, that's how you know that you're over speaking, is you're using one of these too many times. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to drive one. This one here would be qualifying as the pronoun it. And we use the pronoun it here as well. So in this case, we've used the pronoun twice. We've used the subjective noun once. We've used the exact noun once. We've given our answer. Okay. We've given our explanation. And we've given our example. All right. Short, quick, sweet, Band 8, Band 9. All right? That's how you do it. Jubilant says, Adrian, IELTS teacher, he. Brilliant, Jubilant. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you can work that into an answer, explanation, example, wada bing, wada ban, you've just got yourself a Band 8, Band 9. As long as you're grammatically correct, your pronunciation is understandable. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be thick. It just needs to be clear. You've gotten a great score, all right? So that's the magic, ladies and gents. That's how you do it, okay? So remember this technique. Remember the Ferrari technique, okay? All right. I'm going to get into our IELTS Task 1 questions now a bit more, and we'll practice this, all right? So let's apply this beautiful strategy and synergy to our IELTS Task 1 questions. Absolutely it works, Shanu. It is, I'm not inventing this, so if some of you are like, wow, Adrian is just brilliant, he just invented something incredible. No, I didn't. This is fundamentals in effective communication and communication strategy. So it's well known to some professionals. So all you need to do, and it's well known to you now, is practice this. All right? So let's practice this together with some part 1 questions. Here we go. Thank you, Kim Srun. All right. Here we go. What is your favorite part of nature? Okay, what is your favorite part of nature? So try it, ladies and gentlemen. Try to answer these questions. With this technique, repeat after me. What is your favorite part of nature? So use this technique for this question. I'm going to write an example answer. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to what you're saying and what you write. And then we'll compare after, and I'll take a look at your responses. All right. Anybody come up with an answer yet? Vishit says fresh air. Vishit, that's a good start, but definitely not going to get you the highest mark. I prefer nice and quiet places because I'm from a rural area and I'm used to this kind of nature. So yeah, I feel relaxed when I see nature with mountains, rocky hills, and green fields. Prajim, in your answer, you have pronouns and you have subjective nouns. You do not have an exact noun. You're missing your example. So you're not getting the best mark that you could. Jasveer Singh says, my favorite part of nature is the river. I like this because it is beautiful to watch and enjoy quality time with special ones there. Jasveer, what is a river? Name the exact noun. Give the name of a river where you go and you sit. Okay, and your mark will go up. So don't forget your exact nouns, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Marasa says, I like rivers as they are an important part of our ecosystem. Not only do they enhance the beauty of the country, but also fulfill the needs of farming. Marasa, same thing. Where's your exact noun? Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget your exact nouns. Those are really good to include in your responses. Okay. Queen and Princess, same thing. You said my favorite part of nature is the sea. Okay, so I'm going to take Queen and Princess's answer here and expand on it. There you go. All right, let's see if anybody else is coming up with it. Juan Pablo, I'm going to jump back to yours. Don't you worry. Just slipped past, but here we go. I try to catch students as much as I can here. Juan Pablo says, my favorite part of nature is the sunset because I have seen many of them on the beach and they are really incredible. For instance, I remember a wonderful one when I went to the Galapagos Islands with my friends. Juan Pablo, excellent. So you included your example, and of course the sun is an exact noun because it's the name of our star. So rather than using that, you use the specific exact noun for an island, which is the Galapagos Islands, and that's brilliant. Okay, so that will get that mark for you. Again, exact noun, subjective noun, pronoun. Include all of those, all right? I took that one previously by another student, Queen and something the name was, about the sea, and I expanded. So here are two possible answers. Just repeat after me. What is your favorite part of nature? I absolutely adore giant red cedars. These trees are some of the largest in the world, and they make me feel surreal. Whenever I go to the park near my home, there's a red cedar I sit under to read my books. Okay, here's a different answer, especially for those of you who are living in Saudi Arabia. My favorite part of nature is the Red Sea, which is not far from my flat in Jeddah. I like it because of its warm temperature and beautiful blue color. I went swimming there with my friends just yesterday. So notice the use of the pronouns, notice the use of the exact noun. I did not use the subjective noun, which is sea, because it's included in the name. All right? Let's take one more. Preeti Sina says, my favorite part of nature is waterfall. Okay, what waterfall, Preeti? I would throw in the name of a waterfall right away, okay? It's Niagara Falls, or it's Iguazu Falls if you're in Brazil or Argentina, okay? I'll get you back on camera here in just a second, don't you worry. Here we go. So name that place, okay? Name that place. That will help your score, okay? Here we go. Just a moment. There you are. Okay, so think about that as we go into the next question here, all right? Here we go. Next question. Where do you go to enjoy fresh air? Where do you go to enjoy fresh air? Okay, so think about the answer for this one. Again, think about your subjective noun. And people, think about your exact nouns, okay? I'd like to see more answers with exact nouns, okay? Exact nouns are one of a kind. It's the park that's beside your house, the name of the park, or it's the river, the name of the river that's beside your house, okay? So what is it, all right? Where do you go to enjoy that fresh air? Preeti Sina says, Palaruvi waterfall in Kerala is my favorite part of nature. I love waterfalls because, and that is brilliant, Preeti. Okay, so that's what you want to do, is name that waterfall, talk about it. All right? So answer this question, where do you go to enjoy fresh air? I will do the same. I will type it up as you're answering, and then we'll match up our answers and see how you do. See if you can keep up with me for that band 9. Just a moment here. All right. Okay, so here we go. Danyar, just send me that in an email and I'll answer that for you, okay? So here's my answer. All right, so let's see what answers you have. Arzu Admir says, I go to Uludug to enjoy the fresh air because Uludug is a very high mountain. It has lots of oxygen. Arzu, brilliant answers. So I hope some of you are looking at each other's answers here. And Arzu Demir has a brilliant answer. Very nice exact noun. I go to Uludug for enjoying fresh air. There's your exact noun. Uludug, what is that? Because Uludug is a very high mountain. Very nice connection and explanation there, Arzu. It's a mountain, so that's your subjective noun. And it has lots of oxygen. So that is your pronoun. Brilliant. Very nice use of the strategy, Arzu. That's exactly what you want to do. So I'm glad that you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay? Jubilant James, I saw yours there as well. It looked pretty good. Let me see if I can find it. To enjoy fresh air, I usually go to Sunset Park nearby my apartment, where I spend approximately 20 to 30 minutes every day after work, which not only reduces my stress level, but also refreshes my mind. Something like that, Jubilant. But the beginning is very good, okay? So some nice composition there. Okay. Gipi Acapulco says, there is only one place I particularly enjoy to spend time for fresh air, and the name of this place is Panglao River, which has a really good green view of nature. Gipi, very nice. Throw in the example after. I was there just the other day with 2 of my buddies, okay? And then you'll get that nice high score. All right, ladies and gents, repeat after me. As I just mentioned, I like to go to the park near my house. It is called Beacon Hill Park, and it's full of greenery. When I sit under the red cedar to read my book, I most certainly not only relax, but also fill my lungs with fresh air. And this is just what I did last Sunday. So I'm giving you one more technique or tip here, ladies and gents. This is one more strategy for you. I am connecting the information between my answers. Okay? Vanity, don't retract your answers. I'll read them. If there's a mistake, I can correct it. Okay? Kesey, I'll look at yours in a moment. So notice how here I talk about the park and the red cedar, and I make that connection with the previous answer, which is my favorite part of nature is the red cedar. I'm just making this up, by the way, ladies and gents. When the examiner says, let's talk about nature, and they introduce the topic of part 1, that tells you that you should be able to connect among your answers, okay? Kesey says, I really enjoy fresh air at the park, which is only 100 meters from my home. People's Park not only has lots of trees, but also many flowers. It makes me feel happy and fresh to breathe deep. Okay, good. Kesey Zhang, brilliant. Nice answer. I like it. You're squeezing in that exact noun. I'm very happy to see those exact nouns coming in. In fact, I'm so happy that I want to practice one more question with you about this. So let's go to this one here. Have you done any nature activities recently? Okay. Have you done any nature activities recently? Give me your answer for this one. Again, think of exact noun, think of subjective noun, think of pronoun. All right? Get those in there, get your example in there, and then we will compare as we dare. Okay, so have you done any nature activities recently? All right, let's see what you have come up with. Sakita Pereira says, yes, I got an opportunity to plant a number of mango plants around my hometown, Kelenitia, a couple of weeks before, which was a project of the city council to plant 10,000 plants around the park. This was just brilliant. That was a great answer, okay? Navros Kalsi says, I'm really the adventurous kind of person. I recently visited Leh Ladakh, which is in Jammu and Kashmir. The natural place is marvelous. These parks or mountains, I'm not sure what they are some of the most unique natural places in India. Okay, so a little bit more there, but you're definitely on the right track, and it's nice to see a lot of you picking up the importance of those exact nouns coming into your conversation, okay? Furka Faxridinova says, I would say yes, because last weekend provided a chance for me to go with some guys and visit a garden, and I did some cycling and playing some races. You're jumping around, Furka, with different exact nouns or subjective nouns, and it's making me a bit confused. I would rather you pick one, stick with it, and then explain that in more detail, all right? One of the advantages of this strategy as well, which I showed you at the beginning, where you think about the exact noun like Ferrari, you think of the subjective noun like sports car, and you think of the pronoun like it, is that your answer is much more focused. So this kind of communication also allows you to focus your communication instead of jumping around. So instead of saying things like, well, I like Ferraris, I like Fords, I also like Nissan. I like sports cars as well. I like family station wagons, and I like trikes and mopeds also. This way you focus more, okay? It's important to keep your answers focused. Depth is more important than breadth, okay? So it's more important that you're able to go into details with good description and explanation than to jump around and try to talk about lots of different ideas, which can become very confusing in conversation, okay? So another reason that you should practice this strategy is to stay focused on one idea for your answer. Okay, repeat after me. I kind of stuck with the second example that I gave for the first answer, which was the Red Sea, borrowing that from one of your fellow students. So repeat after me. Have you done any nature activities recently? Just the other month, I went scuba diving in the Red Sea with a couple of my friends and an instructor. Although I was a bit scared to try this activity, it was a blast and would definitely do it again. The water was full of colorful fish and corals. All right. In this case, the exact noun, okay, we could argue that it's a subjective noun, but we could say exact noun here. This is the subjective. And here's the pronoun right away. Okay? I hope that's making sense for everybody. So that's my exact noun that I'm using here. I'm connecting back to what I said in a previous answer. So I'm connecting again between my answers. And I'm referring to the subjective noun, and I'm referring to the pronoun. Okay. This one says nature activities recently. It is plural. Maras is asking, should we say two? You don't have to say two. You could say one. Okay. Now, you should reflect the grammar. Have you done? So you can say, yes, I have. Okay. To start it off even better and reflect that this is present perfect, you can say, yes, I have. Just the other month, I went scuba diving. Okay? So then you're showing the examiner that you got that this is a present perfect question. So you can say, yes, I have. Just the other month. And then now you're really going for that high IELTS band score. All right. Here we go. Let's move to part 2. So, of course, in the official IELTS, you'll have a couple more questions. And again, if you're able to say your answers with this fluency and this level of connection, then you will get a good score and you will be able to include those very valuable examples that push your IELTS band scores higher, okay? So again, answer, explain, example. Exact noun, subjective noun, pronoun. All right, that's what you're aiming for. Okay, and then the examiner will say, that is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, here's a card with some questions on it. Please don't turn that over. Here's some paper and a pencil. You will have 1 minute to read the questions on the card. Think about your answer. And you can take notes if you wish, and then you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Are you ready to begin? And then you say, yes, I am. Okay? And there are some good answers coming up there. Preeti, your answer's good as well. I see that. Some nice improvement, by the way, Preeti. Good for you. All right, and then you turn over the card. And on that card, you see this description and these questions. Describe a visit to a different city than your hometown. Which city did you visit and why? Who did you go with? What did you do when you were there? what is your general opinion about this city? All right, so what should you do? What should you do when you have this question? What are your first couple of steps? What is very important to do right away? Your 1 minute preparation time just started. You need to use every second to your advantage. You right away realize that, aha, I've learned this in my IELTS classes. I've learned this from Adrian. I saw this on aehelp.com or glshelp.com, that the first step I need to do is what? So what do you need to do? Okay, part 2, step 1. Identify the nature of the question, says Miraz. Is it an object, place, or person? Absolutely. Okay, is it a person, place, object, idea, or event? Clearly here, you realize very quickly that it's a place. And if it's a place, then right away you know that you need to discuss what points. So you realize, this is a place, and because it's a place, I need to talk about the location, the history, the people, okay? Appearance, what it looks like, all right? Because that's what the place, in this case, includes. So the location, the history, who's there, right, or what's there, and then the appearance. So those are very, very important to include. If you include these points and you go into these details, you will have a very, very good answer, okay? So what is the place, Jubilant says? Where is the place? What's special about this place? What's the history? That's right, Jubilant. That's exactly what you need to do. And then step number 2 is once you've realized, so you need to do that even before you pick the place, okay? Now, you need to pick the place. So pick, oops. So step 2 is pick an easy choice. Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't pick some really difficult place to talk about that is a unique, rural, small little town that's extremely difficult to describe where it is, what it looks like, and only has 5 people living there, okay? You're going to have trouble. Amira Halal, it's not talking about the Burj Khalifa, so it's not talking about a building, it's talking about a city, okay? In this case, you have to talk about a city. So pick an easy choice. So if you have to talk about Burj Khalifa, you're going to pick Dubai City, right? Or the city of Dubai, all right? And if that's your pick, great. So once you've done that, you visualize it. All right? So you visualize and think about the main attractions, what it looks like, the landscape, and you take some notes on it, right? Like Burj Khalifa or skyscrapers, indoor skiing, shopping malls, people from many cultures. And these are your notes, okay? So this is what your notes would look like in that 1 minute note-taking time, all right? So that's what you do, and then you need to put these together in a logical, connected, clear sequence that you can say in that 2-minute time. Now, don't forget step number 3. So step number 3 is what? Before your 1 minute runs out, what should be your step number 3? What is your step number 3, ladies and gentlemen? Ross Prods, good luck on your test tomorrow. What is your... Yeah, very good. Sakita Pereira, nice. Quick out of the gates. It says first sentence. Have your first sentence ready to go. So as soon as the IELTS examiner says, okay, Sakita Pereira, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. Sakita is going to be in a very nice position. You will be in the captain's seat because you know that you have your first sentence ready. You knew that strategy. Good for you. Have the first sentence ready. And the first sentence in this case would be just last month I spent 5 days exploring Dubai City. And boom, you just started with that. Please don't start with things like, I visited many cities in my life, but the city that I would like to talk about today is the city that's very special and near and dear to me and close to my heart. Okay, I just spent 20 seconds saying absolutely nothing that answers the question, because the question is, what is a city you recently visited, not about all the cities you visited in your life and the ones that are close and dear to your heart. So just stick with one, okay? Have that first sentence ready and directly attack the question. Just last month, I spent 5 days exploring Dubai City. Okay, boom, and then you get into it. Talk about what it looks like, where you went, what you did there, who you were there with, what you enjoyed about the city, whether or not you would go back to the city, if you would recommend it to others. So lots and lots of information there, all right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here are the remaining questions. Which city did you go to? Why? Who did you go with? Explain why you went with that person. What did you do when you were there? Explain why did you do those activities when you were there? What is your general opinion about this city? Explain why you have this idea about this city. If you do all those, you will absolutely cover the 2 minutes with flying colors. Make sure to practice timing at home so you get as close to finishing your points as possible without going under or over time. And ladies and gentlemen, please answer that part 2 question and send it to me at adrian@aehelp.com as an MP3 file. So record your answer to this question as an MP3, and I will give you a score estimate. I will let you know what I think you would get for that part 2 answer, what kind of a band score level that would be assessed as. Again, remember the key point from today's class, very, very important. The examiner will cut you off if you overspeak and repeat information too much, or if you are off topic and not giving an accurate answer. So keep your answers to the point, give a clear explanation, and cut to the example. Think about exact noun, subjective noun, and pronoun. For all of you who are doing speaking exams this weekend, good luck to you. Make sure to check out our speaking videos on our websites. And you can get our premium full course with the 30% discount, Partner 30. When you log in to the website, this is the Academic IELTS website. You log in at the top there by clicking on My Student, and you will see that there is a student partner speaking absolutely free, and you click on that and you will be able to find other students and chat with them just like Skype or WhatsApp with video or just audio, up to you. So make sure to use that, okay? Especially if you have an exam coming up tomorrow. Be sure to go on the website and use it. You can use it on the general or on the academic. All right, everyone. I wish you the best of luck again in your exams, and Keep up the good work. You'll get there. Your brains are supercomputers. Do not underestimate them. They are the most amazing machines, biological machines in the known human universe. Have a great rest of your day. Much love to all of you. Peace out. Bye for now.